I think the cool thing about battling that I've learned recently is how it started in the Bay Area. It was never like I take a turn, you take a turn, I'm gonna sit back and watch you. Like it developed organically, like at house parties. So let's say, and maybe I see Livick across the floor and he's with his lady, he got a nice brim hat on like mine, right? And he's dancing with his lady and all of a sudden I see Livick go like this. While he's dancing, doing a little neck roll. I'm like, what is he doing? That's a boogaloo move. Hold on real quick. And so then we catch eyes and I look back at him and I'm like, boom. Neck roll back at him. Now it's on, you know. Now me and Livick are going at each other at the same time. And the first person to quit dancing coincides and then loses the battle.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Casa de los Broke Boys. We have a great show for you today. I am the king of the dumpster, the prince of dirtness, Kurt the Hurt, here with my man Livick, the philosopher. In the studio, we have Mr. Bboy Translate. He's producing the show. You can't see him, and he doesn't want to be on the mic because, he hates you guys, but we love you. Yes, before we get started, please smash the like button and the subscribe button and all that other shit. And yeah, if there's any other good buttons, those stars or whatever, I don't know. Whatever is a good button, press that and don't press the bad button. Cool. If you could do that, that'd be great. And if you hate me, make a comment down below. That'd be dope. Or if you love it, cool. Today, give a round of applause for my man Surf Boogie.
Yeah.
The tallest man alive. He's like 10 feet tall. He's literally a giant. What's up, man? How you
7 feet of funk. That's what they call me.
7 feet of funk, dude. That's for real. That should be your real name. 7 feet of funk.
That's dope.
Oh, man. So how you doing, dude? I haven't seen you in a while.
I'm doing good. It's an honor to be here with you, man.
Yeah, I've been trying to get you on the show for a minute.
I know.
You're too busy surfing away.
I know. I've been a recluse lately. I've been going out to the river and going to the ocean, going to lakes and swimming a lot.
No, that's good. You're getting
perfect weather for that.
Getting in touch with yourself. And have you been surfing though? Boogieing though? You know, boogie boarding and surfing.
I haven't. I'm working my way back to that. I had a pretty gnarly injury last year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Getting my balance back, but I am ready now. I'm currently ready to go try it again. I just need the right crew to come with me. So I don't know.
I wish I could surf because I would be part of that crew. Obviously, I can't surf. I could skateboard though, but not well.
If you can skate, you can surf.
I was able to wakeboard a long time ago, a little bit. I got broke off though, but it was fun. Okay. Anyways, dude. So obviously, you are a popper. People have known you for a long time. I knew you as a b-boy. That's when I first met you. Can you talk a little bit about like your history in this dance, in this hip hop world, and I guess how you got started with it?
I got started with Michael Jackson. I was a little kid. I saw him do like the moonwalk, the backslide, I should say. The real name is the backslide. I seen him hit that move and I just wanted to be him. So I looked up to Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Bruce Lee.
All the mics.
All the mics. I looked up to 3 mics and then Bruce Lee, you know? And they really shaped who I was as a child.
Michael is a hype name, actually.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good Michaels, actually. I never thought about that, but yeah. Okay. So, yeah, and so you were looking up to all of them, and that's kind of how you got into this?
Yeah, but with Michael, I would copy his moves. And, you know, if I saw him, like, on a music video or something, I saw a move, I would just rewind it over and over and watch the same move 100 times until I could do it myself. I eventually came to 8th grade dance doing that, and it was kind of played out. Everybody laughed at me like, yo, what are you doing?
This 7-foot dude is trying to do a moonwalk.
Yeah, they're like, you need to learn how to backspin. You need to learn how to head spin. You know, where's your
windmill? You gotta break.
Did you know all that was hip hop, or like how did you find that out?
No, bro. All I had seen before at that time was this very famous street performer in San Francisco. He goes by the name of Harry Berry, rest in peace. He was like the original silver man out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, Harry Berry, he was a trip, man. Like, I remember seeing him when I was a real little kid. I think I might have been in 3rd or 4th grade, around 93, 94.
Yeah, okay.
And my parents had brought me out there around holiday season. And we're walking around San Francisco, and I see this crowd of people. and I see this tall dude in the silver suit standing amongst everybody in this crowd. I'm a little ass kid. So I part ways through the crowd and I come up to the front, and Harry's doing this thing standing on top of a milk crate, and he looks at me and he does the lean like Michael Jackson does the lean.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But bro, he was on the milk crate, and the milk crate teetered up onto one side
What the heck?
while he was doing the lean, balanced on that thing, came in and looked at me in the eye like this.
Oh shit! It's just like,
bro, he
this
got
dude
all
has
the way.
magic. What? That's
Magic.
crazy.
Kurt, he put his hand out, put his glasses down, and went like this.
Put that money in that hand, though. I showed you
that
that.
money.
I gave you magic. Now give me that money.
Dude, it was the clean, to this day, the cleanest lean I have ever seen.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And I think in that very moment, I knew, I was like, I'm going to do that when I grow up. I want to do that.
What? And was it? I know some of these street performers actually have some crazy shoes that let them do it. Was that just a pure lean?
That was just a pure lean
That was
and
a real-
balance on
That's
a
crazy.
milk crate
That's crazy.
from the back of a grocery store. You know, like,
And was he silver at that time too?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
dang, dude.
And then I'd seen him one more time out there as a little kid during Christmas time. He has a son named Josiah, and he was young at the time. Josiah was like knee high, you know, but they were both dressed up like Santa Claus, and they were doing a routine together.
Oh, that's
to
tight.
dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. That song, "Whip It."
Yeah.
Yeah, old school song.
Gap Band, I think, right?
No,
who-
Devo.
Oh, okay.
You got to whip it.
Yeah.
Whip it
okay.
good. Yeah, the old school song. and bro, they went off. It was magical, like you said. Yeah.
Damn,
So
dude.
I hadn't been exposed to like the b-boy scene. I hadn't been exposed to anything besides Michael Jackson and seeing a few street performers. But then when I got to high school, they were like, "Yeah, you're whack. You need to learn how to spin." So
Learn how to spin.
Do you remember the first competition you went, like, and you battled a poppy, or you
Yeah.
called someone out?
no, my first competition I ever entered was a b-boy battle in 2002. I entered with a very famous MC from Sacramento named Mahadi Bush.
That's Bush.
Shout out to Bush.
He was on the
man.
show, episode, I don't know, 20-something, 26.
Bro, he's I think he's one of the best MCs to ever come out of Sacramento, if
Yeah.
not the best.
Yeah.
There's never been anybody that puts on Sacramento like Bush. So
He's getting stream numbers now, too, yeah.
you know, he's getting the love he deserves. So
Yeah.
but back then he was a hardcore b-boy. He wasn't really rapping yet like that. You know, I know he was rapping, but not like he is
Every time I
now.
see that woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was doing that stuff.
He was top rocking all that. So I met him that night. We entered a 2-on-2. We made it all the way to the finals against Morris, B-Boy Morris, Fallen Kings. And we went to a tiebreaker, and the judges said, "All right, you guys got to pick one person from each crew for one last round." So I went out against Morris, and he beat me. So
That was back when he was Orbit Documents, too.
that was also
Yeah.
Morris's first jam he ever entered.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, bro.
I remember those days, actually, I think.
That put me in the game though. That night, I met everybody that night, and like Chris Smith from Lord's Gym was there that
Oh, yeah,
night.
yeah.
Like,
I
there's-
need to get that guy on here. He did a lot for SAG.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he's up to now, but yeah.
he trained a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Peacemakers.
Chaos Crew was there that night. Like
Oh, yeah.
Kamsu was judging that night, bro.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, that's some OG stuff.
that was old school.
Yeah, I need to get some of these Sacktown OGs like on here because their story gets kind of forgotten a lot. I wish I could have got Gerald on here, man.
Yeah.
Rest in
in
peace to
peace,
that guy,
Gerald.
man.
Rest in peace, Gerald, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent and just I get unsung heroes from out here. I think that just people forget about.
Yeah, like Devious Crew.
Devious Crew. For
Yeah.
sure.
Man, when I was first coming up, before I got into Flexible Flav, like that's who we were looking at. My crew, like we all looked up to Kareem and John Carter, and Foots, and Daniel, Chris, all them dudes, man. They were a step ahead of us. You know, they were older than us. We'd go to the Alpha Zone.
Alphas.
It was like a club we could get in when we was 16, you know?
Yeah, it was like the 18 and under club that you could go to. I've been to that one a couple times, and man, that place was terrible. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of battles that popped off over there for sure. That was the spot to go to for sure. I remember, man, there's this. I don't know if the DJ was just playing us or what, but he saw us break in one time, And then he's like, oh, this one goes out to all the B-boys out there. And then he played that song, Raspberry Parade. You know what I mean? What is that? Shaka Khan or something?
That's
Yeah.
Prince. Isn't that Prince?
No.
The kind you find in a secondhand.
Yeah, it is. It is Prince.
Is it Prince?
Yeah.
Either way, it was a terrible fucking song. And they were playing it. This one goes to the B-boys. I was like, oh, God, come on, dude. Please.
Man, hey, Prince is the only dude out there can pull up with nail polish on and a perm and steal your girl, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that's Prince, you know? I don't get it. But he does it. I don't know.
He did it.
He did it.
He did it. That's him.
He did it all.
So I know you started as a B-boy, but eventually you got into popping, and now that's kind of the main thing you do. Can you talk a little bit about how that transition happened?
Yeah, around 2004, I suffered degenerative disc disease. I was lowering myself down to the ground to do a little simple 6-step, and on the way down to the ground, about 50% down to the way there, I felt something just blow out in my back, man.
Oh shit!
And heat took over my whole body, and I didn't really walk for a couple months, bro. I was like bedridden. I was just watching Blockbuster videos all day and on all kinds of pills doctors were giving me, and they were telling me I'd have to get surgery and I'd never break again, all kinds of stuff. And eventually I threw all those pills out, and I found like water therapy just through intuition.
Oh.
Yeah, I just started getting in the pool at 24 Hour Fitness and like just swimming around, jumping up in there, doing like scissors with my legs, whatever I could for my own intuition.
Swimming is actually
It's the best
really
exercise.
good exercise. Like it's kind of low key underrated. You know what I mean?
That's why the boxers do it, because
Yeah.
you just do your whole body,
Yeah.
and you're not forcing your muscles.
Yeah.
Taking that gravity off of your joints, off of your spine.
Yeah, it's a lot less strenuous on your joints, but just such a good workout for sure. Like just doing a couple laps, dude, man, you're like out of breath for reals. Like it's like you ran a couple miles, you know what I mean? So
That truly healed me. That
Yeah.
pool, just going to that pool every day, and then starting to get into yoga. I got heavy into yoga, and I did about 9 months straight. I'm talking every day hot yoga, 9 months straight, and meditation every day. Sometimes up to 6 hours a day of meditation.
holy shit.
And at that time in my life, I wasn't really talking to nobody.
Yeah.
I went through a breakup, you know what I mean? And I had found yoga, and it was a way for me to learn how to love myself again. It was a way for me to heal myself again, body, mind, and soul. And I had to do a lot of soul searching. I had to ask myself a lot of questions, which I still do today.
It's good
That's
to ask
good,
yourself
that's good.
questions. Definitely good to ponder stuff. But yeah, so you were like, I guess, did that affect how you danced, or were you even dancing at that time?
Bro, so the crazy thing is after I did all this swimming and aerobics, I went from being, damn near paralyzed to coming back to b-boying.
Yeah.
And I was way stronger than I was before.
Okay.
I was able to hold my
You
freezes for
became
longer.
real Thor.
Dude, I went to Thor mode, but that Thor mode only lasted for a couple months
Oh, okay.
because I wouldn't heal the same anymore. It wasn't like being a nice fresh spring chicken, like being a young b-boy. You go and do your thing, you get up the next morning, you can't feel it. You're good, you're young. When you get older, man, you feel it.
It catches up with you.
It
Yeah, it
catches
does.
up with
Your
you.
body.
Any young b-boys listening to this right now, I probably just sound preachy, but man, I'm trying to save you, man.
Everyone old that was
Stretch.
breaking when they were young
Yeah.
is gonna tell you the same thing. Is like they wish they stretched more. They wish they didn't fucking do a coin drop off the freaking roof. You know what I mean? They didn't do the head spin on the freaking concrete. They're they'll tell you that for real. It's not just it's not us just talking shit for sure.
There are very few people that can sustain that kind of impact on their body through the years, like Tiny Tim.
Oh,
I don't
Yeah.
know how his body takes it.
He's magical.
He's magical.
There's some magical people out there, and I don't know. Yeah,
but he does body maintenance, to stay strong and,
sure he
and
does, yeah.
fit. But yeah, I wish I would have done a lot more of that younger in my b-boy career. We used to just, cram into a minivan, get down to LA,
and
win the jam, sleep on the floor in the hotel, and then
For
cram
reals.
right back in the van and get back home to work
and then
or
you pay
whatever
for
it was. Yeah.
Pay for it later. There's just a lot of chronic things that build up in your body, and you don't even know it's a problem until it is a problem. And you go, oh, there's no way to fix this really, other than just maintain it and try not to let it get worse. That's kind of what I.
and when you're a kid, you don't eat healthy. All you eat is junk food.
You don't. Yeah, you don't want
man.
to eat healthy at all.
So it was way different. Plus, going to road trips is like you hit McDonald's or something like that.
Yeah.
So the older you get, you start realizing, hey, you got to take care of your body.
Yeah, nutrition's been a huge part of my change too, for sure. I wish I would have known about that a lot earlier. When I healed from back to what my story I was telling you guys, when I healed back from my back injury, when I would break, I wouldn't come back for at least 3 or 4 days after a jam or something. I would feel it, man. It would really hurt. So I decided, this is not sustainable. I love this dance with all my heart, but it's just not sustainable for me to do it the way I was moving forward.
And so that's what got you into popping?
Yeah, and I would still go to jams and I would see dancers like Bionic Man, Tommy Boy, the Bay Area poppers, Machine Gun Funk, Boogaloo Pimp,
Yeah, Boogaloo Pimp.
Just some really dope poppers. And I would see them and I was never intimidated though. I just felt like I can do that too. You know what I mean? And eventually I started messing with it and I went and I learned from like Sugar Pop, Pop and Peep, Boogaloo Sam, Mr. Wiggles. I went and took all their classes. I went and learned from Salah. I went and learned from Frantic. I've taken Frantic's class 4 times.
That dude's a genius.
Rashad and Future and anybody who I was watching at the time, I decided I was going to go meet them. I was going to go learn from them. I was going to go study from them.
That's dope. Yeah, no, so you really reached out and got immersed into their world to pick up some new skills and stuff.
Each one teach one.
Yeah, I really wanted to not just learn the movement, but the culture.
Yeah.
So,
how's the popping culture different than the breaking culture?
Oh man, it's way different because popping culture comes from the West Coast.
Yeah.
Comes from California. Breaking comes from East Coast, from New York.
Yeah. They're fundamentally two different cultures that somehow kind of came together under hip hop, but I never really understood how that happened. And as I understand it, popping came first, breaking came, and then it was kind of like, oh, we're kind of dancing to the similar music or something. So now it's hip hop. I don't know, dude. I just for reals don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't there for the intermingling of the styles as far as popping and breaking at that time. I think some good people to talk to would be like Money B, from the West Coast, because he was an old school breaker, like Sidewalk Breakers before he was even popping too. So he'll probably have some good information on that. I think that, like you said, it had a lot to do with the music, bringing people
that's what
together.
I was thinking too. I mean, and also it's just kind of like a urban poverty type of like thing that a lot of impoverished communities did. So it just seemed like they kind of went together once they started, it came to a time when a lot of different people were doing it. So,
and I'm sure there was some dancers traveling out there,
That's true, yeah.
Whether it was for a show or something like that. And so they eventually got to see what was going on and tried to emulate it, and they kind of did their own thing, which is what happened here in the Bay Area. It all started from Boogaloo, which is a dance that was developed in the late 60s in East Oakland, California by the inner city youth. And this dance branched out all over the world and became strutting, popping, pop locking, anything that you see going on with that, like the ticking, the waving, all that stuff. You can trace the roots all back I can trace the roots all back to Boogaloo.
Okay. Wasn't there another piece of popping that came from like the Fresno area?
Yeah, that's electric Boogaloo style.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, that's like Sam and Pete Wiggles.
Okay. Obviously, I don't know shit about popping.
No, they got their own thing. They got their own way of popping. That's the beautiful thing about California is no matter where you go, whether it's down in LA, you got people like Daryl Strokes and No Bone Tyrone, and like they just got their own style down there in LA.
Yeah.
Scorpio. They got this thing called bopping down there. And bopping's like a dancing robot.
Okay.
Right? And that was based off of Boogaloo too.
Okay.
Because this guy named Boo, his name is Boo. He was coming down from Oakland down to LA, and people were seeing him dance and trying to copy him, and wound up doing their own thing,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that sounds like it's very much in the essence of like the late 90s, early 2000s breaking culture, where every little area had their own little thing, and they would kind of like take from other spots and build their own like style in that area. In breaking, I know that it's kind of straying away from that a little bit. Do you see that happening in the popping scene as well?
Yeah, but
Kind of converging to some universal style, sort of.
we can blame
think
that on YouTube, I believe.
Yeah, I think
you
so
know?
too. At least in
Yeah.
the breaking scene. I don't know about the popping, but yeah.
Popping still has its culture, its own roots, like within the crews. Like I just went to the 40-year anniversary for Playboy's crew, which was
Okay.
really cool in the
Yeah.
Bay Area. So there's still things going on like that. And then B-boying, you know, you still got like Underground Flow. They'll do their crew anniversaries. So you still have your things here and there, but as a whole, it definitely has changed, like you said. And I think it's because everybody is drawing on the same well of inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so if everybody's looking on YouTube
What's-
or whatever as the format,
What's the hype thing that's on?
No one's creating no
on
more.
no one's
social media.
creating. Nobody's
Exactly.
looking inside for their own format.
Yeah, dude, turn the TV off and freaking like dance with your heart instead of the TV.
Yeah.
I honestly stopped watching footage a long time ago. Just I'll watch a random battle like every other month or something, and that's about it. Just the hype battle or something, and everything else when I create is like, I've just felt like that is a better way of doing it now.
Yeah.
Because you won't unconsciously bite something. You just, everything you're doing is coming from the inspiration around you. You know what I mean?
Or a
Yeah.
feeling.
Or feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's now the scene. Like, you don't see no one contributing stuff more. It's more like, oh, I like his style. Let me run with it. I think that's what's missing. Like, even in the breaking and popping too, you could see it. Like, everybody's like, okay, they're strutting. Let's do that. But no one's trying to innovate some new style.
And the
So-
thing is like very few people will actually come to the Bay Area and meet the people that are strutters. Very few people will come
Oh, yeah,
People
yeah.
don't
and
know
meet
about-
the East Oakland
Because these are all
Bugaloos.
these are all old OGs and stuff that probably
Created that
they're
style.
not well,
Yeah.
but they're also probably not onto all the social media shit. So there, it's like to get the knowledge from them, you really got to go to them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's at least what I've seen is a lot of the people that I was influenced before really like social media was ever a thing. Those people don't fuck with social media at all. So really anyone who came after that wouldn't even know they exist, I think. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are still getting into the dance this day. So I always have to constantly remind myself of that, you know, when I
Yeah, I think it's good that there's still some people, you know, like shout out to Mr. Freeze, like he's out there.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Freeze.
And so he like obviously he's an OG and like he's still in the social media world, so like people can reach out and get. I wish there was more of these OGs that actually had some more of a influence following like on social media, so then you can actually go to them more. It seems like it's harder nowadays, you know.
yeah.
So.
You know, I miss taking classes from Ken Swift.
Yeah.
He was one
probably
of the-
still does them, but yeah.
That guy's an incredible teacher, man.
Yeah. I remember he came out here once and I wasn't able to go
I actually went to
take
that
his
one.
class. Yeah,
It
but
was really good.
yeah.
I know you're teaching. How about like, can you talk about that a little bit? Because I know.
Yeah, man. I just started teaching again. I did a kids hip hop workshop. So it was like 2 hours every morning working with the kids, which allowed me to create my first new routine in a few years, which was cool. I got to learn alongside the kids and I got better myself.
And what do you think it's keeping you doing that? Like, you've been doing it for so many years. What inspired you to keep doing this?
Man, that's something I ask myself all the time.
It's tough, right?
Yeah. I constantly have to check in. I constantly have to check into my purpose. But it always comes back to just love. Like, I just love doing this. It just feels good. Like, when I hear that music, man, if you put on Fatback Band right now, Money, I wouldn't even be able to sit in this chair right now. I'd probably knock your equipment over in here, bro. Like,
And he's 8 feet tall, so the house will come down, dude.
you know, if you put one of them songs on, one of them old school funk songs on that gets my blood going, I can't hold still. It's just in me, man.
Has that ever has like a song like that ever come on in a really awkward time and you just started dancing? Like you're at the bank trying to like cash a check and then you're just like, this is my fucking jam. And then,
Yeah. And you
or
just
like you're in your
keep it
car and
low-key.
you're like, oh, I should really be paying attention to driving, but I'm going to start popping and fucking getting the accident.
I do though, but I'll keep it low key. I'll just kind of chill out. Just like boom, boom, like a little bounce, boom. And then if somebody catches you and they're like, oh, then you're like, oh yeah, you might even give me a little neck roll or something. You know,
He's over there trying to holler
Give
at
me
a
a
girl.
little
He's
more.
like, hey, what's up? Oh no, this is my jam. And he starts dancing, turns around.
Let me get your number.
He just, he's like putting his number in the phone. And he's like, no, wait, this is my jam. And just drops the phone and just walks away and dances.
Hey, man.
Girl's like, come on, man. What's up?
If you make them laugh, it's a good intro. You know.
That's tight.
I went to go meet DJ Quick a few weeks ago. He came up here to Sacramento. He's an amazing producer. I love dancing to his stuff. And waiting in line, you get in line, it's like this big U-shaped line to talk to, and there's some DJs over here. And you could tell like everybody was nervous in line. They got their shoulders up high. I'm gonna meet DJ Quick. Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like looking at everybody. I'm like, man, this vibe is kind of off. So I just start dancing a little bit to the funk music and like caught eyes with some people in line. They're like, oh yeah. So by the time I got to the DJs, you know, I'm getting
Yeah,
warmed up. I
everyone
get
was-
close to that speaker. I started going off, Kurt. I started going off. I started creeping around in a circle. Boom, boom. And I looked
tight.
over at DJ Quick's crew. All of them were giving love, man.
That's tight.
Yeah. So
That's what it's about, man.
I think a lot of times that we feel that nervousness about like dancing in public, we just like let that go and just have fun and truly express ourselves. People can see you're having fun.
Oh yeah.
And then it's a good,
You know what I've
good
been
vibe.
telling people a lot, that like the real dancers are the little kids, because they don't have that fear. They just go like, oh, I like this song, or I don't even know this is a song. I just want to move around, and then somehow down the line they realize, oh, I shouldn't do this, and then they get scared of doing it, and then you become an adult, and now you're like, oh, should I do this? Of course you should. I mean, probably don't do it when you're driving, but you know, like it's okay to do it. You don't need to be worried. Like there should be no nervousness of doing it, and it's weird that becomes a part of literally every adult's life. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, even when they ask you, like, they know you break and be like, oh, can you break? And like, that's like, sometimes it's like, sometimes I do want to break, but sometimes I don't want to break. But when you hear that song and that music, it makes you get
the
to
music
that.
tells you.
It taps you into that moment.
Yeah.
So, and there's sometimes like you just hear that perfect song. I remember I went to the store not that long ago, and I just heard like a break, like some little break, and I
Call
was
Me Maybe?
no,
That's the jams you listen to. No?
no, and I don't know, it just made me want to break because it just that sound, and I think that we all have that feeling.
Yeah.
Just been doing it for so long.
I used to just pull over. I used to only listen to the radio in my truck because I like the surprise of, you know, getting something unexpected. And so I'd always just put on the radio and drive. And if I heard a song I'd like, I'd pull over right there and put the camera up and start dancing no matter where I was.
Sac used to have that one radio station that was really tight. What was it? 101.1, I think.
101 played old school jams. Now we got one called 97.5, the Soul Station. I really like that one.
Yeah,
That's good.
I gotta find all the new radio stations now that I'm back in Sac. But yeah, no, I remember I would listen to that radio station religiously, and they were always playing some dope songs. I was like, this is it.
Did you guys listen to KDVS?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, this is. I guess the surprise of the radio is really cool. It's kind of like a DJ, really. You know, like a live DJ almost, because you don't know what the fuck they're gonna play.
Yep.
Other than a commercial, which is annoying, but
So it keeps you on your toes as a dancer.
for sure.
Just like when you go enter an all-style event, like, man, I've sabotaged myself so many times with all-style events, just being like, man, I don't like this song or whatever.
But you know, I don't think
that's.
I don't think that's sabotaging yourself, though. I think it's more like if you don't feel the song, you just don't feel the song, which is one of the things that I don't like about competition battles is like if they play a whack song, like, you know, the battle's gonna suffer from it. The dancers are gonna suffer from it. And in a competitive world, I mean, I guess it's fair that both competitors are both needing to dance to that song, but it feels fake to me. You know what I mean? Whereas if this was a cypher and you were cypher battling, right? And the DJ plays the bad song, you'd probably just be like, hold off on this one. Let's fucking wait till there's a good song and go. You know what I mean?
I just don't want to be held back by the negative mindset because I already signed up for the battle. I'm already in it to win it anyways at that point. So it's like I just feel like I'm self-sabotaging myself if I'm like, oh, I don't like this music. You're just putting yourself in a negative place before you go out for your round.
You know what I do when I get in that moment? I really like tap into it. I tap into the moment. If I don't have that mindset when I'm battling someone and I hate this song, I'd be like, I'm living this moment. I gotta enjoy it. And I really tap into that moment so I can enjoy the moment. But some B-boys, I think they think about their moves so much and they think about the song because they hate it, and it messes up their whole coordination of what they're trying to do. But I think you really gotta just not think and just live it.
I think a lot of it, for me at least, it comes from I'm expecting there to be like a certain song that comes next or something, and they play something else, and then I'm disappointed, and then I'm stuck there being disappointed when what I really need to do is once that happens, just go, okay, whatever. Now pick out a part of the song and go, okay, this is fun. And then just go with that. That's exactly what I do. Really just take your time. I mean, that's what I've been trying to train myself to do more is just every time I step into a circle is just take a few seconds to just let the song like grow on you. Yeah. And before you do anything, you know, it just gets you more in the moment, you know. This episode of Noise of the Broke Boys is brought to you by Karen's Potato Salad. Do you yearn for the taste of delicious, creamy, buttery potatoes in a perfectly seasoned potato salad dish? Do you ever fall asleep at night dreaming of the rich, starchy texture of Aunt Rhonda's perfectly proportioned potato salad? Do you suddenly have an urge to call my manager to cancel me because you assumed the race of my imaginary Aunt Rhonda, despite her racially ambiguous name, and are now jealous of her potato salad recipe? Well, I'm here to tell you you can breathe easy. Go ahead and hang up your phone. Give the police a day off from handling this important complaint. Head over to your nearest grocery store and purchase some of Aunt Rhonda's secret flavoring, sodium chloride. Use this secret flavor enhancer in all your future potato salad recipes and enjoy your salty meal, Karen. Just be careful not to be too salty. And now on to the show. Count to 10.
And you know what I think they should do on the DJs? I think they always start the beat like quick. Oh yeah, and start battling. I know there's a timer, but the way a B-boy or a pop or anything, they have to feel it first to project it. And I think right away they put a damn song and then they want us to just jump in and get it. We have to feel it. Yeah. And I think that's a lot. I hate that.
I mean, that's what happens.
But I hate waiting too. I hate waiting.
That's competitive battles for you. But I mean, again, like I say that shit's fake because it's trying to create a battle when the battle wasn't organic. You know what I mean? So you're going like, okay, well, you battle. Let's see what happens. Let's play this song. Organically, you two might have never ever battled, even especially to that song. You know what I mean? So. There's an element of fakeness to it, and that's what I think people touch on when they talk about it. So I don't know.
Yeah, the competitions are not real battles for sure.
They're fake. They're fake. Yeah, I mean, there's some.
It's a contest.
There's some that get heated, and those are kind of real battles. But like most of them, they're just fake.
Like we can go back to some really good contests, like Lords of the Floor when K-Mel was pulling Pookie out the bag. You know what I mean? Like reminding Crumbs hitting. Back then it was crazy, right? And but it was still a contest. It wasn't like when they're battling in the hotel lobby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It gets different.
That was the real battle.
It gets real.
That was the real Lords of the Floor battle.
But I think it's because people had like arguments back then. It was more like, yo, I want to smoke you. Now everybody's cool with each other, so it's hard to find that feeling. Like you had to drive all the way to New York to go battle someone, and when they come to your town, what's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna call them out. Yeah. And I think now we have social media and we see all this thing, and it stops us to get that feeling that we had back then.
Yeah. I feel like battles were different back then too because they weren't that contest vibe. it was like you get in and blow somebody up real quick and get out. Like you prove your point, you get out.
And the round was a lot
the
shorter.
round was shorter and more explosive, and they might go 20 or 30 rounds in a battle.
So that's another thing I've been talking a lot about is the length of rounds. The only reason they're long now is because they've shortened the amount of time you have to battle, because of the time that they are allotting for a contest, right? So they go, okay, this battle has to only be 2 rounds. So then they go, well, fuck, I need to throw everything in this round to win. And so they throw everything, their round becomes super long. But if you never had that restriction, if this was a battle in a circle, you just go 10 rounds then. You just go, whatever, 5 rounds. Like, it doesn't matter. So then you do have the shorter rounds. So I do think the true essence of breaking is actually shorter rounds. And only accommodated for a contest, and that's why you got longer rounds. And I'm not complaining about the long rounds. I think the long rounds are tight. You see some amazing stuff. It's elevated the dance a lot, but also I do think that it's birthed from something that was fake to begin with. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Because when you see short rounds, you notice what they're doing more, and when you do long rounds, you forget what they did in the beginning. Yeah. So it's hard to grasp everything.
A lot of times back in the
it's
day,
not answering anymore.
If you're doing that in a cipher, you're getting kicked out the cipher.
Yeah, if you did a 2-minute round, they're like, come on, buddy, go over
bro.
there. Come on, dude.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
Everybody was so hungry to get in; they were foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
You were lucky to hop in to get at the right second to hop in that cipher.
So that's something that I've been really toying with. Is like, how do you make competitions feel like it's more like that? Because I know people love competitions, and I don't want to say, oh, let's get rid of competitions, but I would love to see it be more of that essence, like just raw circles, organic, but you can actually get like a prize for that. You know
what I thought?
I thought those Shark Tanks are kind of okay, but they get too they get too stupid where like people are just like, I want to fucking go out, and they're just pushing each other. I don't like that, but.
I think a lot of that has to do. Let me say one thing real quick. Is the organizers throwing the jam, because they're not allotting for the time for cipher time anymore. Yeah. Back then, it was like in between the rounds or the brackets, it'd be a good maybe 30 minutes to cipher or whatever, or an hour to cipher. Then they get back to the battle. It's not really like that no more. They just kind of boom, 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 kind of chop through it, keep it moving, have a very little time to cipher, and the cipher is only enough time for the judges to go talk about something. Or you know what I mean? It's like makeup time. It's like filler time.
Yeah, I wish the event was a little more like organic, where the DJ just plays and the DJ doesn't stop unless they're switching DJs or whatever, and the music just keeps going. Every song is fire, and like somehow the competition fits into that whole thing. But the premise is that the DJ does not stop. Like the music is always hype. Fucking, there's not a crowd that's like, hey, get out of the way from the cameras. You know what I mean? Like if you're dancing, you're dancing. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's the same experience. When you went a freestyle session, I don't know, the one where gamblers battled Mighty
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
There were so many ciphers everywhere.
Yeah, that was tight.
I think if you make a concept of like everybody joins in but gets a number, right? And you call out whoever, there's gonna be judges. There's gonna be, I don't know, 7 ciphers around the whole jam. It has to be a big spot. And then everybody gets a number. Then you could call out whoever you want that has a number. And then judges should see the battle. And you don't have to be like, oh, I have to battle this guy. No, I'll go wherever I go. And if I know he has a number, I could call him out.
That's a cool concept.
So I was thinking about this idea, actually. It's kind of like that, but you don't need judges. You just have the people that are competing. So in order to compete, you sign up. And you get a name, you have like a tag or something on your shirt or whatever, but you just dance as if this is a regular event, whatever, dance event. You're at the club, whatever, you're just dancing, and then at the end of the night you vote for who you think was the best. You can't vote for yourself, you have to vote for someone else.
Ooh, I like
and that's it. And the only way you can get a vote is if you participated, meaning you came in and you were in this circle dancing and stuff. And so you get to vote. So literally everybody gets to vote. You cannot vote for yourself, and that's it. And then the winner, maybe you have, first place, second place, third place. And obviously the people that spark off some hype battles are probably going to be the ones that win, or at least place pretty high. I mean, but it just seems like it simplifies it a lot. I mean, now you don't get this like OG experience in the judging, but I mean, are you losing a lot from that? Maybe.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
it's
know.
hard.
I'm not
It's
sure.
hard because the person that entered has to be watching other battles too, because he has to.
Well, yeah,
vote.
but you are not going to inherently dance the whole time. Like, let's say this is like 2 or 3 hours straight, right? There's no way you're going to dance the whole time. Also, if you're in a circle, there's going to be this guy coming out, this guy. You got to wait your turn anyways. You're seeing that stuff anyways. So you already know the people, at least in that group, that are killing it. So, and you're going to vote for whoever you think is killing it. And now you got like 100 people or whatever. Let's say it's 100 people in there. There's 4 different ciphers that popped off. You're going to have a voting in each one, and then whoever got the most votes, then they win. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
It's just a
I
wild
see,
ass
I see.
idea. You know what I mean? I don't know. But it feels like it'd be more like an actual cipher, more
All
closer
out.
to like what an actual dance event would be, rather than some tournament between some fake battle, you know.
But saying there comes a kid that be like, no, I didn't lose.
Well, that's why you got everybody.
But
judging.
so that's the whole voting
But
thing.
the thing is you can lose a battle if you have a hype battle and you just keep going rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds. Who cares who won the battle if you guys are killing it? You know what I mean? One guy might think you won, the other guy might think the other guy won, and everybody just votes. And like for reals, it's just whoever was killing it the most wins.
That's
like
that's
you know
what
what I mean.
it was
You
about.
don't need to
about the
lose a
cipher.
battle. Like
Yeah.
we're saying in this contest, oh, you got to win every single battle, but that doesn't necessarily matter.
It's
like
who killed
who's
it.
killing it. I mean, you know what I mean? I
That's
don't know.
pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
I was just thinking that it would simplify stuff a lot, and nowadays with like the like with cell phones and stuff, you can just download an app, and then basically when you sign up for it, you could just put your name in the thing, and then at the end of the thing, you just type in who you think won from the list of people that were there, and you just say this guy won, and so it's all like on an app or whatever. I don't know.
That's
I'm a tech entrepreneur, motherfucker. So
Damn. So,
That'd be cool to have some new formats. I really liked
Yeah.
this jam I went to called The Abyss. It was a house jam in the Bay Area. And what they did is they had 8 invited battle guests. Then they had people, I believe they had people do like a cipher to see who was like the top 8 that day to get in. So battle the 8 guests.
yeah.
And then from there on, they were all judges. So they all watched, and like you said, you can't vote for yourself. So there was like 16 judges. And after the battle, you write who you thought won, put the name on a piece of paper,
Yeah.
and they passed the hat around. Then they add it up real quick and see who won.
Yeah, I like
That's
that
cool.
because I guess I'm looking back at like when breaking really first started and kept growing. Like, what was it? It was a circle and people are dancing in it, and then a battle sparks off, and then who judges it? Never in that whole thing was there any judge, like specified judge. It was literally the crowd just getting hyped. And for some reason we were like, oh, we need these specific people saying we won or we lost, and not these people. But I'm like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't. And obviously, I'm not saying that I don't want to listen to OGs or anything, or someone. There's definitely people that I want to hear their feedback in terms of like them being judges, but also like if it's just a battle and you're battling, like I don't see the problem with having everybody give you a vote, right?
Yeah.
and when you lose to a battle, so
Exactly.
Yeah, and the real battles there are no judges. You know
There
what I
are no
mean?
There
judges.
isn't
Exactly.
no
That's what I'm
judges.
saying. And so I'm trying to capture the essence of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I don't know. That's just my wild idea to maybe happen. I might.
do
throw
you got a
jam like
memorable
that.
battle? Like when you battle someone that you
I have many memorable battles.
He battles the ceiling every day because he's like 20 feet tall.
you're a fool.
He battled the doorway.
I battled this guy before.
Yeah, we've battled a bunch of times actually.
Yeah.
When-
The
trying to remember one.
one-on-one cream battle.
Mm.
Yeah.
Damn, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I probably won though.
I won the whole jam, actually. I won
Oh, did
first
you?
place.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck, I lost to this
there
one.
you go.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
lost, buddy. You lost. Get a lose.
How old was I? Was I in high school? No, I don't remember.
I got Rodney
Catch
that
me
day,
down.
too.
Catch me down.
I got Rodney that day, too, in the
Oh
finals.
yeah, actually I do remember this jam. Yeah, you were beating everybody. Yeah, you were kind of unstoppable.
No, I was just not crashing.
You were actually training.
Yeah. Break smarter, not harder, somebody told me. So.
Well, you were hitting every beat too. There was like I don't know who was DJing that day. Was it Chewy? I think it was probably
Yeah,
Chewy.
Tet was judging.
No, Tet was judging, but who's the DJ? I think it was Chewy.
Okay.
I don't know, because Chewy plays good music. So.
Yeah, I have a lot of memorable battles back in the day. I think the cool thing about battling that I've learned recently is how it started in the Bay Area. It was never like I take a turn, you take a turn, I'm gonna sit back and watch you. Like it developed organically, like at house parties. So let's say we're all hanging out at the house party. We all paid our $1 to get in, get our ticket, whatever. We got our lady with us. We're in there dancing and we're doing our thing. And maybe I see Livick across the floor and he's with his lady. He got a nice brim hat on like mine, right? And he's dancing with his lady, and all of a sudden I see Livick go like this. Boom, while he's dancing, doing a little neck roll. I'm like, what is he doing? That's a boogaloo move. Hold on real quick. And so then we catch eyes and I look back at him and I'm like, boom. Neck roll back at him. Now it's on, you know. And I was like, he's breaking back from his lady. I'm breaking back from my girl. I'm like, hey, hold my jacket real quick, or you know, whatever. Take my wallet, you know. So you break off, and now me and Livick are going at each other at the same time.
Mm-hmm. That's dope.
And we're creeping at each other across the floor, looking at each other. Boom, boom, going at each other. And the first person to quit dancing coincides and then loses the battle.
Yeah.
That's
and
dope.
it's over
That's
that
how
quick.
it was.
Yeah, and it's over as quick as if I look at you and I call you out, boom, and I start coming at you across the dance floor and you don't do anything instantly, you already lost.
That's crazy. That's nonstop.
Yeah.
That's how it was back in the day. They weren't waiting and taking no turns.
But you knew when you lost, like for real. It's like there wasn't. You didn't need a judge really. And that I feel like.
And that's a different.
I wish
feeling.
there was that.
The crowd will let you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it is a different feeling when you're both going at the same time. Because even when you're breaking and he comes out and doing something and he jumps in front of you, it's a very intense feeling. So if you're saying that you're not gonna stop, that's even more. Like, when is he gonna stop? I'm gonna keep going. So that's pretty cool. So that originated in.
Yeah, that's like the way they were battling in Oakland. And I think that coming back to b-boying, like that essence of that not gonna stop feeling, that happens in the raw battles. So we're talking about short rounds, going for 30 rounds, because you know that guy's gonna hop right back in and come back with some more fire. It's not gonna be a contest battle of 3 rounds timed. Like,
I don't want to stop, and then the judge jumps in like, no, you have to stop.
It takes the essence out of the dance. It takes the self-expression out of the dance.
Yeah,
and so people come with these planned sets.
We got to stop this fake battle so this other fake battle can start. So please, stop. Go sit there, actually. Go back to your seat, your assigned seat.
Yeah.
What if there's assigned seats at jams? Fuck that shit.
There's very few b-boys that actually like really like express themselves in the moment and don't just come with sets, and there's a balance between that, because I mean, a lot of everything we're doing is a part of a set. It's a part of foundation or choreography. But you can see when somebody's really in the moment and expressing that music and taking you on a journey. And
I like Uzi Rock a lot.
Uzi Rock.
He just, I mean, he obviously has like sets and stuff, but it just comes out naturally. Like, he's just having fun, man.
That's what I used to do. That's how I viewed myself as a b-boy. It's like Uzi Rock. That's what that's how I used to rock, bro. Like, I'm having fun. I'm expressing the music. I might not hit some air flares on you, but everything I'm doing is going to be clean and it's going to be me.
Exactly.
I'd love to see that kind of come back more into the competitive world, and I think it is inherently tied to having fake battle or not having fake battles anymore. So I don't know. That's just my wild ideas that I think.
I like Nasty Ray a lot too.
He lives the moment.
Yeah, he lives the moment for sure.
I never know which way he's gonna go. If he's gonna pop up on his left hand or on his right hand, or he keeps me guessing when I'm watching him
Machine
break.
does that too.
Machine keeps you guessing. You don't know which way he's gonna spin or flip, turn, how fast he's gonna go, how slow he's gonna go. He takes you on that journey.
Yeah. That's the hardest part to being a dancer, to be honest. I'm barely getting into that feeling where I learned that from Remind. From his studio, practicing with them. It changed my whole perspective of how I dance now.
Well, Remind's the GOAT.
He is.
Yes. So
I honestly think he is.
And he lives that moment, and that's what I'm trying to project now as I break. I don't want to think no more. I just want to project.
It's crazy you bring him up too, because out of everybody, I feel like when I watch him dance, he's like the most vulnerable. Like, he really puts himself out there. You see everything.
What I like about Remind so much is that he's like he really just says, fuck all this shit, I'm just gonna dance and throw it all out here, and if you love it, you love it, if you hate it, you hate it, who cares? And he's still on his, like there was a time when he was obviously like winning everything, and then he came back with literally the same approach that he had before, just throwing it all out on the floor, and he was still like winning jams like at 40 years old or whatever. I'm like, this to me shows me that he is the GOAT, because he can just come out there and he figured it out, and it doesn't matter what shape his body is in at this moment, he's still throwing it out there and it dominates people. I mean, I got fucking dominated by him in a battle because it was at Massive Monkeys, and we were doing good, and then he just came out and just blew the shit up, and I was like, oh, we lost.
He's timeless. He's
Timeless.
timeless,
For sure.
Very timeless.
He can still go 20, 30 rounds right now. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, because that's what it is. It's about.
But he doesn't need all this other shit. You know what I mean? No. He doesn't need to go and judge everything. He doesn't need to be the fucking #1 guy on the scene. He doesn't need to go viral on social media or anything. He's just there to dance, you know? So.
And you see it every time he dances. Yeah. You could feel it. Like, you could honestly feel it.
You know what's cool about that dude, too, is he's the only person I've seen take locking, hip-hop, house, breaking, popping, put it all into one set and make it look clean.
But you know who did that? His name is Rob, and that's one of his teachers. And he's from Stockton, and that was his style too. If you see him, you see Remind.
Wow.
So that was his objective. Like, he wanted to create his own style, but with everything. He wanted to break. He wanted to pop.
Yeah.
He wanted a house, and you see that from Remind. So, and that's what I learned from him too. He goes like, I remember he told me one day, he goes, I was dancing, and then he goes, Live it, come over here. He goes, I want you to make me feel what you're doing when you move.
Yeah.
That's what I want you to do. And when Rob told me that, I was like, it was mind blowing, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing that Remind does.
Yeah. You know, Remind too. Also, like, obviously, a lot of people try to copy what he does, but they never get it right. And I think it's because inherently he's not dancing with moves. I mean, he obviously is dancing with moves, but that's not the essence of what he's doing. He's doing himself out there, and like, you literally can't copy it. And he's probably one of the only people I can really point to that is such a good example of that, where you literally cannot copy him, because it's just fucking, all he's throwing out is just energy from himself, you know? So I don't know.
I got his paintings hanging in my house right now. I got 3 of them.
He's a dope artist.
Yeah,
and he can
he's a
sing
dope
too.
artist.
Yeah, he's well-rounded in terms of art, I think.
Yeah, he knows everything.
Yeah. He's a poet too. Yeah, I don't know.
Shout out to Remind, man.
Come on the podcast, please.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Remind, he's way ahead of his time. So
he still is ahead of his time.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, so I think I want to talk a little bit more about like how you how do you use hip hop in your daily life, like outside of hip hop? Like, how has that changed the way you approach life?
Well, I used to be really big into hip hop culture when I was more into breaking.
Yeah.
And I think after I found popping and boogaloo, I got way more into funk culture.
Okay.
I didn't realize getting into it that there were, I think that's an answer to one of your earlier questions too, is like those two music, like the music really dictated the style. Mm-hmm. Right. And so popping didn't really come from hip hop. It came from funk. So we already had our culture to West Coast funk music out here. So after I found that out, I kind of got deep into funk music and researching all the different bands and watching all the old concerts and understanding what it means to be on the one. And that really changed things for me. Hip hop, I still love breaking. I'm always going to be a b-boy till the day I die. It's inside my soul. And one of my goals this year, by the end of this year, is to get back to having 30 windmills. So I'm on the road back right now.
How many can you do right now?
Yeah, I can get about 5 right now. I can get about 5.
You'll easily get there.
Yeah.
All it is freaking just getting in that position and just going.
I just got to get my body back.
But it is tiring to do that many.
Yeah.
So, but I'm actually curious more so like, you know, at your job or like whatever, have you found any benefits from hip hop in those worlds? Like, let me think of an example. Like, you know, when you first met me, I was kind of an antisocial kind of kid, right? Mm-hmm. And being in hip hop kind of branched me out of that, and now I'm not nearly like that anymore. And it's helped me a lot in my, you know, in my work career and it just in so many things in life. I'm no longer closed into a shell. Like, has that ever helped you? You see any things like that? Any benefits?
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
You learn more on the dance floor about yourself that can carry over into other life situations than you would ever think possible.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
some deep analyzation.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with something as simple as how much room does somebody use up on the floor in a cipher? Do they sit in one place or do they come to the middle of the cipher and own their time? Do they use the whole circle? Do they only use half the circle and a little bit of the circle? Mm-hmm. Do they interact with the crowd? Do they look people in the eyes or are they looking at the ground? Or do they look up to the sky? You feel me?
Yeah.
Do they make people laugh? Do they make people, you know, so it's like through dance, you get to learn so much about your character. You get to build confidence, you know, because at first it's hard to get in that cipher, especially when you see some people going off doing something dope and you ain't really there yet. Mm-hmm. You're not on their level yet, but you want to dance and have fun. You want to get in that circle like everybody else.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of courage that's involved with that, right?
Yes. So you build a tremendous amount of courage, which will then, you know, carry on into other aspects of life. Maybe you've never been surfing before, but you'll develop the courage to go surfing through dancing. Maybe you won't have that courage without the dancing, stepping on that floor, or skydiving, or, you know, trying to talk to that hot girl, or applying for a new job, or whatever it is that is challenging to yourself. Through dance, you get to conquer your own demons. You get to conquer yourself.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah,
Right.
because
It's that fear that you get sometimes.
Yes.
And I think once you pass that, once you get on the floor, that fear goes away. It's like, and it's the same thing you use. I think I use everywhere I go. Like saying, if I have fear, that first thing that tapped to me when I wanted to go on the dance floor, it made me get to that point to just, let's go do it. So.
Well, I think, you know what it is there's an inherent challenge in all of it. I mean, obviously going into a circle is challenging because you need courage to do that. Being actually good at it is also very hard. It takes a lot of practice and lots of hard work, dedication. And in a lot of things, I think people get scared of that and then they'll run away. But the thing about dance is like, there's also something deep inside your spirit that says, hey, this is something fun. Like, let's do this thing. So you do, it's like deep inside you, I think as a human, you want to do it. You want to be creative too. There's like something deep inside you that wants to create. Oh, yeah. And so it's like, you do have this kind of addiction to it, but then there's such a big challenge to it. You have to you got to learn hard work to really get there. And then once you do it, it's so satisfying. And I feel like going through that whole journey is so important to you because you need to do that for everything in your life to get good at anything, to, you know, to get the courage to, like, you know, go to your boss and ask for a raise or whatever the hell, like even apply for a job or whatever. Like, you need to put in the hard work to get there. And like breaking really teaches you that, I think. Yeah. I don't know.
A lot of times when we get into the dance, we're shy and we're scared to get in the circle, and we come to dance as a place that we think is like a safe haven, like where we can get away from competition. Like, I'm here to express myself and be artistic, but the bottom line is we all got here through competition. We were all the best swimmers. You feel me? And throughout this whole life, we're competing with the guy at our job to get the raise. We're competing with the other kids in school. This whole life is a competition, whether we like it or not. So when we begin to accept that in the dance world too, it's like, you don't have to care about it and let it drive you, but it's there. You have to acknowledge that it's there.
Yeah.
But you know what I like the most that got me to that point is creativity, man. I think that's what I love more about this dance.
That's where the competition really is.
Yes,
because you can compete against each other, but really you're competing inside your own mind.
Exactly.
To
Against
express
yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when you come out and you do your own creative moves, I think that's what got me to I want to go get that job.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
pushing me, because that creative side made me work my brain in a different way, to think different, to view life different. So I think and I think a lot of people should use that creative state of mind to use it and approach it to life and approach it to dance, because that's what makes you feel good.
Yeah,
When you create.
I think it also makes you mentally strong too. You know, with obviously like with creativity and just the hard work that takes, it just gives you some mental strength to get through hard times, which you obviously will have. And so, yeah, I mean, for me at least, that's what it's helped me a lot with. I think so.
How about you in the creative side?
Yeah, it's also helped me communicate better, because this is body language, right?
Oh yeah.
So I can go to Africa, I can go to Sweden, I can go to France, I can go to Japan and have a full dance conversation with somebody and make somebody smile, laugh, cry, give me a hug, whatever it is, without sharing a word in between.
Yeah, yeah.
Ourselves.
That's heavy.
And so it's like dance is a language. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier with the deep analyzation. When you're in a cipher, you can kind of see who the confident people are and who the shy people are, who the funny people are, who the class clown was. You feel me? You can see everybody's true character.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And in knowing that, it's then up to you as an artist to express yourself honestly and show people your character.
Honest expression.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
He said it the best.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the hardest thing, to be honest with yourself and express it.
I loved his book, The Tao of Jeet Kune Do. Have you guys read it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have it
actually
out there
have,
actually.
Dude, I let somebody borrow it and never saw it again. Don't ever do that.
You can still get it.
I think the same thing
Yeah.
happened, but yeah, no, it's all over the place now.
I love
Yeah, it's a
when
great book.
Yeah, it is.
I love how he says, take what's useful,
And leave what's
leave
not.
behind
Yeah.
what's not, and create what's your own.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, man,
That's the philosophy you went by.
and that's why martial art is an art, and that's why, you know, I mean, art is art. That's why art is art, is because you're creating something from, you know, the things that you get inspiration from.
That's why I look the way I do. I approach dance just like Bruce Lee approached fighting. I read that
Yeah,
book,
yeah.
changed my life. That's why
Same
I went
thing
out
with
and
me.
learned
Same thing
from
with me.
all these different people. And I have, like, when you see me dance, it's like, man, you're going to get a different flavor depending on that moment. You're not going to get the same thing every time.
Yeah, and that's how it should be, though.
You know, you're going to get some vanilla this time. You're going to get chocolate next time. You're going to get strawberry the next time. I got mint chip too. I got 31 flavors, you know?
Sometimes you get the doo-doo flavor.
But that's how it should be, you know? I think it's important to have that arsenal as a dancer.
Yeah.
To have all those different flavors, because you don't want to look repetitive, or, you know, and even as an artist, it'll get boring to you.
You're a complicated person, so the dance should also show that complexness of your
So
your inner soul.
I like it all, man. I don't discriminate. I love this body language. I love watching people from all over dance, and I get inspirations from all different walks of life, all different ages.
I want to see your perspective on judging. How do you see, like when you judge someone, what's your perspective on that?
The first thing is connecting with the music, because if you ain't connecting with the music, you're not dancing. So a really easy way to see if somebody's dope and a good on-beat dancer, it is to turn the music off. So when I'm watching somebody's clip,
crazy.
if I turn the music off and they still look good, I'm like, yeah, they got rhythm. They got rhythm in their body, because I could see it without the music on. But if I turn the music off and I'm watching you dancing, and it's all over the place, and there's no
It's all
rhythm in
structure.
the
There's
movement.
no rhythm.
And then I'm like, I can't feel you. And then I turn the music back on, and you still look sporadic So in the moment, I really look for people expressing that music in their body, primarily the beat. and not people just running off and chasing the words and chasing the horn. And you always got to come back to the beat, the foundation, right? Or else you're not expressing that song.
Exactly.
That's the foundation, the backbone of the song. But once you do that, then you can go out and feel the horns and feel the everything else that's going on in that music. But without showing that backbone first, you got to show that rhythm first, you know? So that's what I look for. I look for rhythm. The second thing I look for after that, I would say is character, you know?
I think that's missing a lot, man.
Yeah.
People are trying to do too many moves and they're not bringing them something different to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, dial back the moves and dial up the character. Yeah, I definitely feel like if you can't get an understanding of what, how a person is, as a human, from their dance, there's probably something missing that they're doing. You know what I mean? Like they're not truly tapping into the totalness of their, what the art that they're trying to portray. You know, so.
And then lastly, I would say I start to look at the technical things, like as far as like how good your tuts are and how clean your angles are and all that stuff. Anybody can train that, man. But it takes a lot to be vulnerable and really express yourself and show how you're feeling and tell a story.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
Especially tell a story, man.
Yeah.
bro, one of my teachers, Kearney Mayers, there was this one time we're in my truck chilling outside the studio, getting ready to go in. Smoking a little J, doing our thing. I can say it on the podcast. So we're listening to some music in the car, and I put on a song, Average White Band, Cut the Cake.
Yeah.
And Kearney proceeds to do a full boogaloo solo of him baking and cutting this imaginary cake.
That's
Bro,
crazy.
He's whipping it up in the bowl. He's doing it all. He's putting it in the oven. He pulls it out. He cuts it into 8 symmetrical pieces, puts it on a plate, takes a bite, then hands it to me. But the way he did it, everything was on beat. So everything was boom, boom, boom. Everything had that bounce, that feel, that stop to it. And my eyes just shot out of my head. My jaw dropped, and I said, "Oh, that's what this dance is."
Baking cakes.
You can bake cakes. You can do anything. I've also seen
It's
Kearney.
character. You can make.
Yeah,
you
no,
can do
that's
things.
character.
That's the whole point.
Bro, I took him with me to the auto parts store. Next thing you know, he's telling me about this whole theatrical show he's got in the head about full mechanical boogaloo show. Pumping up the car.
Oh shit!
Changing the wheel, like everything.
Dude's got a day job when he's dancing.
He's a genius.
That's tight.
That's what it's about. That's
Dude, yeah,
exactly.
no,
Telling
that
a
is-
story.
Yep.
Yeah, telling a story. That's crazy.
So I got some moves like that, like I got a golf club, you know what I mean? I got the little things here and there, but you have to have your way of doing it. Really swaggy and really nice, and very apparent that you're pulling out a golf club and that you're golfing. And in order to do that, you have to embody the character of a golfer,
Yeah. Oh
Right?
yeah, you got to
It's
put
like
the
the
shorts
minds.
on and everything.
People that do that, that's the whole.
which means the way a golfer walks,
Got to have that.
their hand gestures, their posture, the way they step up to that ball, the way they're holding it, the way they're looking at the ground, everything.
Yeah, you
so
got to have
means
that country club like swagger a little bit. Yeah.
you're gonna have to
I
watch
got
some
$1 million in
golf.
the bank.
Yo, you gotta watch some golf.
You're gonna have to watch some golf and study it. That's how animation started. Was people copying Sinbad and the Seven Seas?
Oh yeah.
Jason and the Argonauts, like the claymation from these original old school animations. And it's crazy. All these dancers nowadays, they call
RIP
this
to,
dance.
to animation, man.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
this
man.
animation from
Amazing.
LA. Yeah, that guy was crazy.
Absolutely amazing.
But a lot of what people are quote unquote calling animation today is not traditionally what animation was 20, 30 years ago. Now today people are just like moving through the geometry of their body, like the tuts or the waves or whatever, and they're glitching with it or they're ticking with it, and they're playing with the timing to look like they're moving through a frame, and they're calling that as animation. When I see my OGs do animation, like Charles Powell, bro, he looks like the movie.
yeah.
Like the Cyclops in the movie, he doesn't have feet like me and you, so it's up on its hooves, right? So the whole time Chuck is animating, doing this character, he is up on the balls of his feet. His heels aren't touching the ground. He's walking around. He's making the sounds of the Cyclops. He's swinging that bat around. You know what I mean? Like, you really look like you're looking at the movie at this point. It doesn't look like you're just watching somebody dance.
Yeah.
It looks like you're watching theater at this point.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
And that only comes from studying that film over and over and watching it and watching it and watching it and being able to repeat what you're seeing.
That's crazy, yeah.
What's his name? Matt Chad, or how he does the robot? That guy. You could tell he studied everything.
Yeah.
Bro, he started off B-boying too, bro.
Oh, yeah.
He was on Dance 360.
I think he was at that
windmills.
Mighty.
I remember that.
I think it was at that Mighty Four Jam too, right?
Tag him in.
Tag him in.
Tag him in.
They don't know about head to head. Head to head.
Oh, that's crazy. I used to come from school just to watch
Exactly.
that.
I did too.
Just to watch that.
Man.
I would run home to see that.
Tag him in.
We should all not admit to that.
Yeah, that's true.
So there were,
Oh man. Well, shoot, dude, this has been a great conversation, man. Do you have any last things to say before we close up? Cut the cake. Bake the cake.
bake the cake. Bake.
Do some yoga. Surf yogi.
I have been really into yoga lately. I've been coming back to that. It's really helping me a lot. It helps you heal. If you're going through any difficulties in your life, whatever religion, whatever faith you're a part of, yoga does not require you to believe in any certain God or to call God a certain name. Yoga is just very logical and very simple. And it's just a way to bring union to your body, mind, and soul. And to elevate your life and make your life better. A lot of people just look at yoga over here in America as like a physical thing. Yoga has so much to do with how you see yourself, what's going on inside your mind's eye, how you treat people, your hygiene, how you care for your body, your strength and your flexibility as well, but your ability to control your mind, ability to shut off your mind and meditate. All these things are yoga. So if you ask me, brushing your teeth is yoga. That's the way I've come to view it. Anything that elevates your body, mind, and soul, that uplifts you, is yoga.
Kind of like meditation. That's what sounds like it.
Yeah.
Because you're in the state of yourself. When you meditate, obviously you're not thinking about nothing. It depends what kind of meditation you do. But if you do a breathing meditation, or you do a meditation where you just want to escape yourself and just look into yourself, I think. But with yoga is different because you're moving your body, right? But you're seeing it more as like a living. I use everything that I do in yoga as myself. When you wake up, that's kind of how you project it, or
Yoga is like the art of life, the art of how you're living your life. So
is it kind of like meditation, or is it? I don't know a lot about
meditation is the chief aim of yoga. That's the goal of yoga. So all these physical postures developed from yogis that were trying to sit and meditate for longer than 30 minutes or an hour, and then, oh, my back hurts. Oh, I can't, I got it. And then what happens is if your eyes are closed and you're trying to drift away from everything, that pain is keeping you there. And it's not allowing you to get to where you need to be, to where you want to be.
That's interesting.
So in order to get that full release, you have to be painless in the body. So these yogis started developing different ways to strengthen and lengthen their body. But for thousands of years, there was only a few postures of just, laying on the ground or sitting on the ground. And these physical postures developed as a need to elevate the body, mind, and soul.
Interesting.
So
kind of like breaking mixed with meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you're
that's
able
crazy.
to sit for 8 hours, 10 hours.
I didn't know that.
A
That's
really,
interesting.
really
Yeah,
long
because
time.
when I meditate, I stay in one posture. I don't. Sometimes I lay down, so I do different. But I never tried it like the way you're saying. Like
What trips me out too is that there's people that are really good at meditating that have pain that doesn't go away. Or people that are stuck in like a wheelchair or something, and they have the ability to meditate very deeply. So it's all about your mind. All about meditation to me is all about letting go of everything. If I have something that I'm focusing on, to me, that's not meditation. To me, that's more like the law of attraction, because I'm trying to pull something in that I have a focus on. To me, meditation is letting go of it all, letting go of my my gender, being a male or female, letting go of my job, letting go of my family, my relationships, my responsibilities, the fact that I have to eat, breathe, piss, poop, shower, and just leaving
it go,
letting it all go and melt away.
You do when you get
frozen.
When you get in a big state of meditation, you honestly forget about everything.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, even when you open your eyes, everything feels love. It's a trip feeling. I don't know if when you do it, that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
When I meditate, or I don't know, the Hoffman technique, what he created.
Wim Hof.
Yeah. Now, you could use that. You could use a breathing technique if you want to try that, bringing more oxygen in your body. So, yeah, man, I love meditation. I recommend everyone to meditate.
Yeah, I've been doing some pranayama for years, which is like the art of breathing. There's a lot of different breathing exercises we can do to bring either yin or yang energy into our body or out of our body, meaning we literally have the abilities to cool or heat our body in any moment, depending on how we are breathing and how we're using our mind. And Wim Hof showed this.
Yes, he did.
They hooked him up to thermogenic cameras, and he's able to go out in the snow and sit there and meditate and heat himself up in the middle of the snow. He's hiked the Himalayan mountains in a pair of board shorts like I'm wearing right now. So he's proven
That's crazy.
scientifically
Yeah.
like that the human body is able to do some pretty crazy things.
Yeah.
I think if you focus on one thing and you get on that state of mind, I think you could. Anything, even like sometimes when I get a headache or my stomach hurts, all I do is meditate and it really goes away. I think your mind's powerful enough to understand your body. You're in that state. You're just focusing on that state. And everything else goes away.
Yeah.
And the key thing is when we meditate, we key in on our breath, which is our number one source of prana,
Oxygen.
of energy, of life. For instance, how long can you go without food and still live?
Exactly.
How long can you go without water and still live? Versus how long can you go without oxygen and still live? It's our key source of life. And I don't know if I believe in these breatharians I've been seeing around. I've been seeing that pop up. I don't know if I think that. I think they're maybe sneaking a meal at midnight when nobody's watching or something. They just don't make no sense to me.
The real thing.
Yeah, man. There's people that claim to live only off of breath. Like I've only been living off of breath for 2 or 3 years. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, they don't drink water, and that's crazy.
That. And maybe it's a possibility. I don't know, but
I think your mind, I think your body needs it. I think your mind could control a certain extent. I think anything in life has a certain extent, even the speed of light or even love or anything. So I don't think you could, if you don't drink water, you have to drink water, man. You have to drink something to give you oxygen. You need it.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're charlatans.
It's that Instagram, man. They're trying to go viral.
So don't be a charlatan. Check out Surf Yogi. Actually, where can people find you?
Oh, Instagram, just Surf Boogie.
Surf Boogie.
SURFBOOGIE.
Or catch him at the next poppin' competition or event.
Yep, he's gonna be judging. You could.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure.
I'm judging a couple things coming up soon. I'm gonna be
Keep your
really
eye on the
hard on
lookout.
all you guys. I'm gonna be super judgmental. So
So get judged by the man Surf Yogi. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.
We out.
Sorry this show sucks. Woo.